Vlogmas. I tamed my hair a little bit. It didn't, when I leave it like in its natural state, sometimes it's amazing. And sometimes it's, looks like I stuck my finger in the socket and I feel like I was giving finger in the socket vibes. So I just, like flattened and flipped my bangs and my side pieces and then just pinned it up. But yes, good morning. I feel good. I feel rested. Yesterday was like really rough towards the end of the day, but it's a new day. So let's see what day 12 is. So we're on the last panel of this side. So let's see. I just put my water to boil, so see if it's a green tea or not. And if it is, I'll go stop it soon. Yep, it's green tea, so not apple one. Hold on. Okay, so it was a green tea, so it boiled but not fully boiled, so hopefully I have a better experience. So today is mulled apple. I don't know what difference this will be from the other apple, green tea. So let's get it. And my mug for today, I think I already showed this one. I am a cat lady without a cat. It's a tragic story, so I have to improvise with, physical objects. So it's not as green apple-y as the other apple. So I guess it's like mulled wine, like the mead or however you want to say. So just a small cup of this will do. It is cold again. It is currently 50 degrees, but feels like 45. So super excited. I have the patio door open to start airing out the house. I love this weather. It did warm up, but it's still been very, very nice. But yeah, so I'm going to continue with my 2024 roundup. And yes, I have read more than 10 books. Again, I don't really like Goodread. I'm going to link it down below because I'm going to try to like keep track better. And I don't know, it's free, it doesn't cost anything. I know there's a lot of other ones now that I've seen like advertised on Instagram and stuff of keeping track of your books and making a community, but like I know it can cost, and I have other subscriptions and costs that I don't want to add to anything. So I'm going to try to make it work, but I adjusted everything because even though I marked it as read, which is really weird, maybe I did it wrong, and then it just only shows date added but not date read, so I just put the year. So I'm at, I think 35, but I haven't put in one book that I finished, The Beast and the Bride. So I'm gonna have to put that one in, so that would put me at 36, I think. And my goal for the year that I set a while ago when I started reading, actually I really didn't start reading till March, honestly, was 40 books for the year. And so yeah, so I'm gonna share the rest of like my wrap up for the year, and I think I might hit my goal. I'm not pressed on it. It's like, it is what it is. It's like, I don't think I've ever been so like, like, oh my god, like I'm behind and haven't reached my goal, yada yada yada. So, but yeah, let's go see. And I'm gonna hit this with some honey, not too much, and then we'll see what the rest of my year look like. Okay, so I'm back at my desk. My desk is like, I'm like being closed in by crap. I really need to clean it off. But so I left off with Anne Bishop. So another book I read was Ink and Bone, part of the Great Library series by Rachel Kane. Yeah, Rachel Kane. It was really good. It was really different. It had to do with the Great Alexander Library, and kind of like books are like really highly sought out for, and like no one owns a physical book, and if you do, that's like illegal. And there's like the librarians that are the keepers of the books and everything. It was really good, really. There's more to the series. Very dark, I think, very aligned, so to speak, of like book banning and just like who can obtain knowledge and who can't, and like who's allowed that. Like everyone in the world of Ink and Bone is allowed kind of like a Kindle type thing. Honestly, like that's what it's like. It's like a Kindle type thing where they have access to books, but no one has access to original books. Like they refuse to, like, you know how a book is mass copied, right? Like there's a million copies sold. Like no, there's only one original copy, and then there's scribes that then copy with like their alchemy and send out for them people to like borrow them from the library. But no one is allowed to have real books, original books. All original books are like hunted down. Like it was really good. I gotta finish that series. And then I read, I don't think this is in any particular order that I read them or when I read them, but the other, so I got into historical romance again. I think this is, yeah, so after I got like really swept into Anne Bishop, I wanted to read historical romance, and so I read the Bareknuckle Bastards, which I did a video. I'll put it here in the cards of sharing with it. It's the first one is The Wicked and the Wallflower. That was a reread for me. So good, better than the first time. Again, maybe I should really give rereading a try because it's so lovely. It was so good. And then Brazen and the Beast, which was amazing. We have a plus size ish female character, and the beast is beastly in every good way possible. And then finally, I didn't read it when I read the first two. Again, Brazen and the Beast was a reread for me as well. Again, 5-star read. And then Daring and the Duke. Oh my god, it was so gut wrenching. It was so like tragically beautiful. It was so good. Okay, 5-star read for me. And then I discovered Set Fire to the Gods. It's a duology by Sarah Roshk. I'll put pictures here as I mention them. It's kind of like, yeah, it's Last Airbender. That's how it's described and exactly how it is. Last Airbender meets Gladiator. So they fight in the arena. The gods, like each god of like element has their kingdom, and like when they wrong each other by like one takes too much fish from their waters, they like have a war, and their wars are gladiator battles. And so kind of like it unfolds like this thing, and then this god that was long dead, and it was good. I discovered it on my own. I hadn't seen it anywhere. It was good. I started reading book 2, and then I kind of like just DNF'd it because like I don't know, it wasn't wowing me, and it was getting like a little annoying. I think it's like YA-ish. I mean, it has some really dark themes. So that one I gave a 3-star. So then again, Reads with Rachel. She is currently trying to find the dragon fantasy book, and Helly reviews most of them, which is, it's really entertaining to watch, and it might trigger you to actually read the book yourself. You never know. So she made like I'll link it down below as well. She did a review of Dealing with Dragons by Patricia Red. I'm not gonna try anymore. And I actually thrifted the whole it's called Enchanted Forest Chronicles, and I read book 1 and 2. Did I read? No, yeah, I ended on book 2. I don't think I read book 3. And it's like, okay, it didn't end like on a cliffhanger. It's YA or like middle grade. It was so good. It's so the first one's Dealing with Dragons, where we have a princess who doesn't want to be a princess. She doesn't want to get married, and so she kind of like runs away, and she wants to become the princess of a dragon. You know how like a dragon keeps a princess and everything. So it's just kind of like her journey of like, you know, paving the way for her own destiny by her own choices. Really good, really funny, really like, I listened to the audiobook with it. It was really good. And then the continuing of book 2, we meet the king of the enchanted forest, and he's like trying to figure out what's going on. Pieces of his forest are missing, and then he encounters the princess, and she's still the princess of the dragon. And like, I mean, it's not a big spoiler, like they fall in love, but there's no plot holes. It was really well written. It was such a great flow. It was a fun read. I gave it a 4.5 star review. And I'm not trying to go too fast. Hopefully I'm coherent enough. Okay, so then I read This Woven Kingdom by Tahir Mafi. She did Shatter Me, and I tried reading Shatter Me because of the the guy everyone loves and everything he says in there, and I tried. Might have to give it a try again, but it's like very YA love triangle, and as almost 30, that's kind of like really difficult. I'm still burned from Twilight, and I'm Team Jacob. I was Team Jacob, and she didn't pick him. So a little traumatized still from that. Anyway, so This Woven Kingdom, how do I put it into words? It was good. She's like the heir, and it's like queen of her people. Like there's God, I'm not gonna do a very good job of describing it. I had high hopes for it. I had high hopes. I really enjoyed it. I really liked the main male character. So clashing empires, forbidden romance, a long forgotten queen destined to save her people. Persian is inspired by Persian mythology. It sounded really good, and I really I ate it up. I was like, okay, and then I started reading reviews. Big mistake, I guess. So spoiler here, spoiler. Yeah, she doesn't effing stay with the first guy, and then this guy, and I was looking at fan art because I wanted to see what people are, if I'm visualizing what they're visualizing, and I'm like, who's this guy with red hair? Like, who is this? I was pissed. I was so upset, and everyone's just like, oh, and then what? I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not reading it. I'm not finishing it. I did read book 1. It was really good. You might like it, but it's like, so for Twilight, I'm gonna rant for a minute. So for Twilight, you meet Edward right away, who is Bella's endgame, right? You meet him, whatever, and then you meet Jacob, and I personally, reading it many eons ago, felt more chemistry between her and Jacob, and now I actually started rereading it a little bit ago, and I didn't realize the age gap between them, so that's something else. But so the person she supposedly ends up with, like, maybe, I could be wrong because I don't know how far the series is going, how many books she's writing, and it could totally change, but by book 3 that's already out, I don't know, is like, we don't meet him till page, the last 2 pages. This mysterious man that she made no connection with, that she felt nothing with, that it's then turns into a enemies to lovers type crap, which I do like enemies to lover. I'm not joshing on that. I can go on. I should just do a whole. I did. I'll put it up here in the cards. I did do a whole rant thing of this book. I was so sorry. Oh my god, just thinking about it again just got me all worked up. I was just disappointed. Let's just say that. Anyways, moving on. Really quick, I then read The Jasad Heir by Sarah Hashem. Really good. Again, it's so she's the heir of her wiped out kingdom clan people, and she's been in hiding and all this stuff, but then her arch nemesis comes in to find a warrior to fight for them in this 3-test trial thing. Very political, oppression of people, and just kind of really intense, really violent. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4.5 out of star review. The second book comes out next year, so I'll see if I read it. So we'll see. And then, sorry if this is gonna be super long. So then I got really into Greek mythology. I still am. I watched the show Chaos. I think I mentioned it in a previous video, and I really wanted to read Greek mythology inspired things. So first thing I came across and found was Stoneblind by Natalie Haynes. Put a picture here. really good, really heartbreaking. It's a story of Medusa, of, you know, and like I listened to the audio version, which was narrated by the author. It was so well done. You hear everybody's voice, of Zeus, of Hera, of Poseidon, of Athena, and Perseus' like journey of how to, you know, and to behead Medusa and all that stuff. Like really, really, really well done. I give it a 4.5 star. Kind of teared up at the end there. And then, okay, these last 4 books. Let me try my D. Let me try my D. I'm getting, oh, I have to show this little tea mug comes with a little cat lid. I just, so cute. But let's try. It smells really good. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It'll do. It'll do. It'll keep me warm this morning. Yeah, I think maybe come next summer I'm gonna try all those green teas cold for like see if they have a redemption, because I have another packet of all of them. I'll give it I'll give it a 5 out of 10, I guess. Okay, continuing on. We have Onyx and Ivory by Arnett, Mindy Arnett, sorry. It was okay. I gave it a 3-star. I started to read book 2 and I was peeved to no end, almost just as peeved as what I found out about this Woven Kingdom, and I'm not continuing it. It's a duology, but there's like magical elements. I kept seeing it suggested. I started getting a lot of suggestions on Instagram of like romantasy, fantasy, and I really wanted to like expand my horizons. I got burned quite a bit, to be honest. Sometimes you just gotta stick with what you know. But I honestly, there's not much to say about it. I think I put it in a video as well. And then lastly, this is where I'll end the video here. This trilogy, The Poppy War. It was so good at the beginning. It was so good. It was so amazing of just like the history, the world building. Poppy her name's not Poppy. What am I even saying? Ren. Kaiju, all the characters, like the battle, the war, the tragedy, the people like, you know, losing everything. It was gruesome. It was like, it's dark. And you know, book 2, I was like, okay, like, all right, like, let's go, let's do this. And overall, like, the writing for this being R.F. Kuang's debut novel, like, masterpiece, well written, well world building, at least for book 1. I do have to say that. I think I mentioned that a lot in the video that I did about this, so I won't go into too much detail. But again, just the ending, like, what is, I know it's like, maybe I should have looked up if it was a happy ending or not, but it's just like, after all that, and it just like fell so short. Goodness gracious. Anywho, I think this video is long enough. I can't mention what I'm reading. I might mention it in tomorrow's video. I did start a new book. I am liking it, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had a good reading year. If it was 1 book, if it was 1,000 books, or whatever you read, I hope that it was amazing, and for these last couple of weeks of the year that you read some more amazing books and that you make something beautiful, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.